What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we are taking a look at a piano library called Noir, created by Native Instruments in collaboration with Galaxy Instruments. So first of all, I want to thank them for sending me a copy of this library for review. When it first came out, I was definitely interested in the sound, and I just love the approach that they took to recording this piano, but I didn't really have a need for it. But more recently, I've been looking for pianos that have a kind of a darker, more mellow tone. And so this one definitely appealed to me once again. And so it's not a really new library. You know, it came out a few years ago, but it's really highly regarded because of its unique nature, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Before we really dive into some of the playing, though, I want to give you a gift for watching this video, and it's my sample library buyer's guide. So it's a totally free guide that kind of combines all of the different sample libraries that I use on a daily basis, including all the strings, winds, brass percussion, piano libraries, ethnic libraries, jazz libraries, all condensed into one PDF guide. So if you click on the first link in the description, you'll have access to that totally free. And again, it's my thank you for watching this video, and you can kind of see the libraries that I always use, because that's always one of the questions I always get is what libraries do you like to use for orchestral stuff. So this will be the answer. But anyway, let's get into Noir. So first of all, it's a concert grand piano recorded in a beautiful space, and it basically features two sample sets. So there's a pure piano set, and there's also a felt dampened set as well, with completely different samples and unique sounds. So it's not like just a processed sound or processed set of samples, created from the pure set. And then also there's a ton of like different microphones used for the sound, but luckily enough, in the actual library itself, you'll see that there's actually not very many microphone options. I think there's only just the one. So you can get up and running right away, and you're kind of locked into this nice sonic signature of the piano. So anyway, you get those two sample sets, the pure and the felt, and then also there's something called the particles engine, which we'll talk about in a few minutes as well. And you can customize it to however you like. So let's kind of get into the library here. And if I open it, you can see there's the felt piano and the pure piano. And I'm just going to start with the pure. I'm going to play just a little bit, do a little bit of improvising, and then we'll kind of talk about some of the things you can add into it and also look at the particle engine as well. So let's kind of get into just the basic sound of what it sounds like. And you'll see what it kind of sounds like here. All right, so that's basically the pure patch, and you hear how the overall sound signature is just very full and very warm. I think those are just two words I would use to describe this piano. As a result, it can really stand on its own in a mix. You actually don't need very much else to accompany the piano. The piano is most likely going to be the lead instrument here. This is very good for underscoring or dramatic moments which have a more mellow feel to them. You just want to have a sound that basically fills up the space in a very natural way, and this one certainly does that. So taking a look at some of the effects here, you can definitely EQ it to however you want. So let's just have a little bit of a, let's just hear what this sounds like here. So cool, you can actually have a totally mono sound there and then expand it to stereo. So notice how most of these parameters here are relatively subtle. You actually don't get a lot of really forceful changes here, happening to the actual original sound when you turn on these parameters. But it's nice that they give you some shaping, right, that you can tweak on your own. So basic EQ and compressor, transient attack versus sustain, and then also a stereo image, of course, and some noises for some ambience, which is really cool. For me, the standard effect is probably the sub over here. So when I first played this piano, I just found the sub frequency really, really beautiful. Let me turn it off for a second and then I'll turn it on here. Isn't that just gorgeous? Like that sub just really adds a layer of thickness and warmth to the very end. It's so beautiful. That's one of the things it kind of pushed me over the edge. I was like, if I was to do some piano soloing in kind of a night setting, just to play for fun, and I wanted something relaxing and just fills my heart, this piano with that sub feature is just beautiful. Okay, before we get into the particle engine, which is one of the standards of this library, let's also play over the felt piano a little bit here as well. So no processing on it or anything. We'll just have a bit of a listen to the basic sound. That was a piece by Yoruma, by the way, the Korean pianist called I, I'm pretty sure, like just literally the letter I. Yoruma is one of my favorite pianists. He probably shaped a lot of how I improvise in the classical type of filmic style. Just a very peaceful way to improvise on the piano, and he has some beautiful music. Anyway, let's get into the particle engine, because that's really, again, the standard of this library, I would say, in addition to just the very natural warm sound of the piano. So you go into the particles page here and you click, or you check on this engine, and by default this is what happens. I have to switch patches first. Here we go. Okay, so basically this is a rhythmic engine that randomly adds in these little particles, right, here and there that basically just add a really nice rhythmic element to your overall playing. And all you need to do is literally just play one chord and the engine does the rest. So what's really cool is you can actually set up the type of particles that you want to appear. And let me just give you a couple of examples here. So let's try an extremely bright version here. So that's the rhythmic value, obviously. And you can definitely slow down the tempo too. It's basically synced to your host. That's so cool. I'm literally just playing a G triad here, so you can see here. And it's creating this very full sound here. Right, so that's basically just the overall particle engine, and it's really so cool. Let's just go back to the basic setting here, around an oct here maybe. And the best part is you can even play additional melodies on top of this too. Maybe let's choose the Just Dark, and then what I'm also going to do is I'll do this after, actually. We'll add some additional sounds to it. But anyway, let's hear this. If you want to end with just a very nice chord at the very end, you can certainly do that too. Right. Okay, but essentially you can see the whole function of it. You have so many possibilities there. If you just need that extra bit of sound design and pulsating rhythm, it's there for you, which is really nice. Let's hear some of these sounds that kind of characterize the particles engine here. So the basic tonal piano sound is just a regular piano sound. I hear you the piano sounds being played there in the particles. If you go all the way to the piano, over here you only hear the notes. Right? Let's hear the plucks. So that's basically just the plucking of the strings, like that. Brushes. And mallets. There's the pounding on the mallets right there. And here's the rest of the particles. Cool. Mechanics of the piano. Here's the soft stick. And there's the mallet on this side. And then the other noise on the other side. So that's really cool, yeah. And you can mix them in together, obviously. Beautiful. And then we can also just reset the entire thing if we want to. And it's back to normal. So yeah, the thing is, if you play the notes slightly off time, the particles are going to kind of blend together and not really be in time. So just make sure after you do your performance, you quantize, because the whole point of the particles is to make it sound like a steady rhythm, and you don't want your notes unquantized. And let's quickly play with it as well here in the felt piano as well. So maybe we'll start with the rounded octave here. Yeah, you could just listen to that all day. It's so beautiful, right? But yeah, in my opinion, I think Noir is just such a beautiful library. On its own, just having the basic pianos without the particles engine is beautiful in itself, and it works really, really well for this more dark, mellow style of music, especially because you don't really have control of microphone positions. You only have the one sound that's kind of shipped to us in the box, which sounds beautiful. So that's the sound you're getting if you actually purchase this library. So don't expect a super bright type of piano sound, because that's just not how it's recorded. But yeah, the felt edition is also such a gorgeous sound, and it's definitely going to be one of my go-to felt pianos, I think. And then the particles engine is just the icing on the cake, because you can really take just one simple chord and expand it to a huge rhythmic pad and pulsation quality that's just really, really unique to the library, I think. So yeah, I'm curious if you have this library. Do you use the particle engine a lot? Like, do you use it more for just the straight piano sounds? Does it find its way into a lot of your cues or your songwriting or your compositions? I definitely love to know that, because again, for me, it's a newish library. I haven't used it very long yet, but I could definitely see it having more applications in my music. So I'm definitely curious to see if you've been using it, and let me know your thoughts on it as well. So thank you very much for watching. I want to again give you my sample library buyer's guide. It's absolutely free. It's the first link in the box below. But again, it basically combines my sample libraries of choice for strings, women's brass, percussion, pianos, jazz libraries, ethnic libraries, and so on and so forth. Because if you're on the market for sample libraries and you don't really know which ones are like the standard ones, which ones are kind of good all-in-ones, etc., I've categorized all of them by price as well, so you can kind of see what stands out against each other. And there's a lot of different options nowadays, so I want to give that to you, and hopefully it'll help you out. So thank you so much again for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye bye.